Hello, welcome to Line War Nightmare Mode. Yep, that's it. I set you guys some silly challenges and you guys actually gave me some replays, which is awesome. Thank you guys. We have two different players who sent in some replays, but we have 4 matches. So, to start with, we'll be thanking them both. Thank you very much, Joe Samo and Clutchy. Thank you very much for sending them in. So, I would like to point out that one of the replays didn't count, but luckily that wasn't Joe Samo who sent in only 1 replay. Clutchy sent in 3, so he's still got 2 more to fall back on. We'll start with the one that didn't quite count. So, here we are, Clutchy versus God of Cream. Both players we've seen on this channel before. Clutchy, well, he started off with 6 territories, which is fine. But he also started off with 4 barracks as pre-constructed, which, breaking 2 of the rules is not fine. I said you could do 5 out of the 6 challenges. If you break 2 of the rules, that means you've lost. So, sorry Clutchy, but this one doesn't count, unfortunately. I'll just quickly go over all of the challenges so we know exactly what we're expecting here. So, we needed to win within 1 hour. We needed to only use 1 unit of each type, so infantry type, tanks or vehicles, air units and sea units. Transports were fine and rockets were fine. Then we needed to build 5 rockets and fire them all at the same time. We need to write your name. Don't use racks at the beginning as pre-construction or barracks. And don't start with all 6 territories. You can only start with 4 or less. You can break only one of the rules. Otherwise, you fail. But luckily, Clutchy does have some replays to fall back on, which we'll take a look at soon. Here we have Joe Samo starting off with a bit of eco and a factory. So, 4 territories only, that's good. No barracks pre-construction, that's good. He's already told me in the message when sending the replay that he doesn't plan to use the nukes, which, to be fair, is probably the best option here. Trying to build 5 nukes and send them off is a lot of eco you need to acquire beforehand. And, you know, you have to wait for the nukes to be built. Bad for your time. And I think it's very hard to pull it off in the under 10 minutes you get for completing all 6. So I would recommend doing a very quick tank rush early on. You could potentially win within 7 minutes. It actually nearly happened against me. We'll have a quick talk about that right at the end. And I have already released that video on here. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite counted for this challenge because it wasn't expected to be on the challenge, I don't think. But I did spot it and I thought it was interesting to say, so I will show you that at the end. Just as a quick one. Anyway, so Joe Samo starting to build barracks now, but it doesn't matter anymore. You can build those. We'll have a quick look at some of the points as we move forward through the match. So although Joe Samo has control, having a really good starting position, being able to control most of the map, trapping the enemy in this location, the enemy is pushing back quite hard. So they are refusing to be contained, not only there, but over here as well. They are holding their position here. I do think they lose it, but we'll catch up in a bit. As we can see here, Schmo is writing 3 letters from their name, so that one's 1 tick in the bag. However, they have taken control of this section here, but is that AI, I think, or Al? I would say Al. Over here is trying to push again. Cruisers are coming up through here. They're going to be able to hit everything here. And you got to remember, these are interceptors, not strikers, because it can't build them. One of the rules were to choose only 1 unit of each type. They chose interceptors, so therefore they can't do strikers, and they can't really do much about this until they build up a larger missile ship fleet. There we go, Schmo there dispersing back into their lines. Unfortunately, Joe Schmo is attacking the enemy over here, and amidst this chaos that is pursuing against him over here, he's lost some structures over here to the loss of ocean control. We've got artillery on the field. There's some more over here being constructed, which definitely took up some of his factory's time. However, considering it only negatively affected him, we've got the kill commands here. They're being blown up. They did not help take over this territory here, even though we've got some being killed there. So they had actually no positive effect on this map. Therefore, I'm still going to allow it. Why not? There's no point in getting rid of that one just because of that. It's easy to miss a couple of factories you build without trying to set them afterwards. Over here we got this, and it looks like he's winning. Other than that, I think that's everything done apart from win within an hour. The match is 41 minutes and 5 seconds according to the replay, so that will be their time. So now we have Clutchy versus Twyla. This match was 44 minutes and something, but unfortunately it doesn't quite be Joe Schmo's version because it was just slightly under, so we already know that he can't win. But there is a bonus of 10 minutes if he can complete everything. However, unfortunately, they did start with a few too many territories for that bonus to apply, which is the rule they got out. But I still want to kind of watch this match because, well, I can imagine there's going to be a lot of rockets involved with Clutchy. He did mention there was a few rockets fired in this match. So, I want to see how that goes. This is still an official one that is accepted, so I'll not go through it quick. So he started off like this, got some barracks up and running after the pre-construct, so that's fine. Tyler is over here, which is actually fairly close, going for a city straight away, going for a lot of eco. And also sprinting some units straight down to try and capture the territories here. Clutchy is going through this way, spreading out everything everywhere. Really trying to cover the ground with any line that he has, just to make sure he doesn't have to worry about that later on. As we can see, a clear unit composition here. We can see that Clutchy is only going for infantry, tanks, and interceptors over here. By the looks of it, not bothering with C units because that's pretty much the only place you can use them, so don't blame you. On the other hand, we do have rockets being built, so we'll skip ahead to when they're getting used. Putting on some pressure now, so we should see some fighting very soon. Slow this down a bit. We'll see how this goes. The interceptors quickly taking out those helicopters, but the SAM's being pushed through the front line there, which is stopping those interceptors really getting anywhere in these helicopters. They're forcing the tanks forward to take out those SAM units and bringing the interceptors forward anyway, which unfortunately there's still too many SAM units there, but the tanks are doing a very good job clearing them out. But we have a lot of infantry left over. So we'll just skip ahead to see how this battle plays out. Maybe after these nukes, if they get used. As you can see, the rockets have been fired. They are pushing through the enemy at the same time. We tried to have a bit of a battle before the rockets were fired, but now the rockets have cleared the path, ready for the rest of Clutch's units to get through. But Clutch has got a big stockpile of cash here, even with 5 rockets, keeping up a good stable economy, pretty much from the rest of this map's eco, which he has prevented Tyler from getting access to. Having this much control will allow you to pretty much do whatever you want. I think Clutchy wants a few more rockets. He's firing 5 more rockets up at the opponent right now. They are absolutely devastating the base over here. Tyler seems all but defeated already. Clutchy could take this on, but I think he's having too much fun with the challenge. This wasn't the first replay sent in. That one has not been watched yet. But this is his second attempt on this map against someone trying to do this nightmare mode challenge, and he has built quite a few more rockets, you might say. He's got 4 more there. Here we go, Clutch is doing a bit of an attack here, pushing forward. We have the rockets flying in. This is, what, 9 rockets now, I think? There are just so many, I'm not even going to count them at this point. And you got to feel sorry for Tyler at this point. Clutchy has sheer eco-domination, and Tyler is just staying in. He is sticking to his guns here against rockets, but he's doing his best. And even with the amount of rockets that Clutchy has, he's still got an income of 1,500 per minute. That's because he's filled up most of the map, and he's got cities and stuff. And it looks like he's on the move. As you can see, Clutch is pulling back, and just to let you know, he did write Clutch here, well, CLU, just in this section here, earlier on, but I did miss it, unfortunately. So he sent in 1 nuke over here, and you can see from Tyler's perspective how fearful this makes you. Rockets are flying in through the fog of war. Don't know if he sent any down here. If he did, there wasn't much point. The rockets are just coming in from all over the map. At this point, not being as effective as they should be, but I don't think Clutchy cares. I think he just wanted a fireworks display for Halloween. There's still more coming anyway. I think Clutchy won this match. Let's move on to the next. Hello, welcome. Again, we have Clutchy here versus Matrix 33 Russ. I assume the Rush means Russian, so privet. Here we go. So I did say that I would play the winning match in full. Unfortunately, I am having some issues with my laptop and some serious issues with the internet. As you may have noticed, I've lost a bit of content frequency recently, so I am trying to sort that out. I can't guarantee when I'll fix it. It's kind of due to my current situation and location that I am. So I will just skip through most of this map. I will try to watch a bit more of it. But this one was Clutch's first replay he sent me. I think he just enjoyed it so much he wanted to send a few more. So thank you anyway. And this is the winning one. He did beat the game fairly early, so we'll find out when he does it. He started with 4 territories or 6? He started with 6 territories, so that's the one he voids, which means he still needs 5 rockets. Needs to write his name, which he does do. I have checked it already. And he's sticking with infantry, tanks, interceptors, and if you realise, it's the same map as before. So I think that's when he went against Tyler and thought he'd just mess around. It had already passed the time limit, so I thought he'd just fire a ton of rockets just to see how it goes. Anyway, we'll speed ahead. So we may as well watch it in the speed that I'm going to watch it in. At this point we do have about ×8 at the minute, so I will be watching the full episode just in a higher speed, and I'll slow it down for certain points, and hopefully that should be alright. Last time I tried to do this, it kind of crashed my computer, so we'll see how it goes. I think I've been playing too much Line War. Anyway, so Clutch has found the enemy in pretty much the same place, which is not a great place. There's much more land over here. I would start over there, maybe with some energy, but there's a lot of cities here, so there's a lot of eco there, I guess. I just feel like the territory is far more important. Anyway, so we have strikers on the field from the enemy, which his interceptors are going to have to deal with because he has nothing he can use against them right now, and he is running out of energy because he's using tanks and air units, which are going to be quite harsh on the energy count. Trying to spread down here, it looks like a group of units tried to sprint across the map over here, trying to get round Clutchy, which is a very good idea in this situation, but Clutchy caught them off guard. The strikers have moved in, taken out a barracks there, and Clutch is fairly exposed here. He's got his tanks over here, but these units are moving in fairly fast. I was going to say they would destroy the barracks, but the strikers kind of did it for him. There we go, the tanks are just going to swarm them. We do have some more barracks being put in, but the strikers come in and pretty much annihilate those tanks. Clutchy is in a bad situation right now, but he is trying to spread out the tanks to stop the strikers doing as much damage. The interceptors are moving in now. They are in a bit of a big enough number now to do some bigger damage. We have a line of artillery to defend against these tanks. The tanks are a bit more mobile, so I think Clutch is just going to try and go around the enemy right now. Trying to make sure I spot that time when he puts down Clutch. Or Clutchy is moving around the bottom of the map instead, coming up towards the top, and I forget how fast the scroll speed is in here. If I use the middle mouse button, that should be fine. As we can see, he's building up a lot of infantry here with his tanks, and he is just spreading across the map. We'll have a quick look at the eco, and right now he has just lost this to a load of commandos, one of the energy storage things, and the commandos are going straight for the airfield, but luckily Clutchy was on that pretty quickly. Strikers are coming in, they're going to be taken out by the interceptors. Currently Clutch's income right now is 1,900, whereas Matrix's income is 1,200, so he's actually not that far behind. He's focused on a bit of eco structures, which has cost him some investment. I'm not sure if Clutch has done the same yet, or if he's just focused on territory claiming. He has done a bit, yep. Certainly not as much. There we go, we can see his name written in the ground. He hasn't deviated from his unit count. He's got his 5 rockets being built only at 24 minutes. There's a very fast way to do that. I think he may have chose this map for this. Purely because of the massive eco gain he could potentially get. But the strikers are coming in, looking at why is he writing his own name in the ground, which is awesome to see. And those rockets are getting ready to fire, which I don't think Matrix knows about these yet. Nobody is sending something over there, which is really lucky if he spots it. Just one interceptor there with a spot. Oh, there we go. They did spot it. From Clutch's perspective, they are almost halfway built. The interceptors have come in to guard this location. I think he's going to hold them there for a little bit longer, just in case the enemy saw one of these rockets. Clutch is hyper-focused on the game. He hasn't taken that away yet. It looks like they formed a perfect name for him. Thank you for leaving that up a little longer here so I could actually spot it. I think you did leave it up quite a while last time. I think I just missed it as you were playing. I was watching other parts of the map. We've got commandos coming in back over here, but I don't think they're going to do much now. We do have a good defensive force there. Tanks are moving out. Clutchy likes to attack before the rocket goes in. I think that's to test and see the best location, as well as to see if he needs the rockets. Either way, he does need to fire them in this match, and I can imagine they're going to be fired soon. Yep, there we go, some slowing down the speed. We are at 30 minutes of the match, we're nearly at the end. He hits one right here, takes out all of those, leaving this area undefended from that force. And I think there's going to be a bit of collateral damage here if he does strike where I think he is. That's friendly fire, Clutch. Oh, he did lose quite a bit of tanks to that, and quite a few got heavily damaged. Another rocket's coming in. That's only going to hit your units right now. Another one did hit down here. Oh, to be fair, it is further in. I was wrong. Alright, I was wrong. It does get a striker. There we go. So at that point, Clutchy has spotted the enemy, has a rocket, but it's just no match for his 5 rockets. And Matrix RUS is probably a bit devastated right now. So, yeah, he does have quite a lot of units. He could try and counter back against this, but I think that was very demoralizing, and he doesn't want to fight 5 rockets. So we'll just speed up, see if he even reacts at this point. But Clutchy did achieve all of the tasks, but the first one was it the territories? 6 territories at the beginning instead of 4, so he doesn't get a 10-minute bonus, but he doesn't need it. He's won in 33 minutes. And 8 seconds. There we go. So, Clutchy is the winner of Night War Nightmare mode, but I get the feeling, as I mentioned before, someone else could have won this match if only they had wrote their name in one of the games they played against me. So just go onto my channel here, remember, click that subscribe button, and we will check out this video right here. You gotta remember, John Bolton is SE2, and SE2's tank rush requires only 4 territories to start with, so got that one straight out. You can't use barracks as the instant cash, which he's also got out. So, 2 in the bag straight away. He only needs to write his name, only use these certain units, 5 nukes, which I think he doesn't do in this because he was so fast. So we don't have the nukes. Then it was to win in under an hour, which he most certainly does, against me. Over here, trying to defend myself as best I can, not even knowing where he is right now, but he knows vaguely where I am because this is where we argued to start with. Which I've already covered this match, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. If he wrote his name over here with just a couple of units, JOH or SE2, whatever he wanted, you can see my base now. He hasn't built any artillery or SAM units, so it still counts for that one. And he's going in for the kill. And he takes out my energy straight away, which grounds my helicopters. I can't really do anything with them. But there we go. I got pretty much destroyed and I end the match. There's nothing I could have done. He doesn't break any other rule apart from the nukes. So he would have won if only he'd wrote his name and submitted this replay. So, just thought I'd point that out. That is a very quick way to win this game. Try and literally rush your enemy with the bare minimum. But SE2 is pretty much an expert at that, so thank you for watching, and next year I'll try and do a bit of a simpler nightmare mode. But we've got to make it challenging, otherwise it won't be much of a nightmare, will it? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll try and keep those uploads going. See you around.